Hi guys, so today I wanted to do a video just talking through my 10 different income sources at 29 years old. And if you follow my channel, you'll probably know about most of them because I do mention them in my income reports. So if you are a regular subscriber, then this may be a bit of a boring video for you, but I will just go into a bit more detail in this video about the different sources and how I use them and how they work, etc. I will try to talk about the amounts as much as I can, but I'm not really going to be as prescriptive about sort of this is how much you can make, etc., because it massively depends on how much time you put in for certain ones of these, if that even makes sense. So enough with the introductions, I'm gonna jump straight in, and obviously the first thing at the moment is going to be my main job, my 9 to 5. So my main job is a chartered accountant role. So I essentially deal with finances and spreadsheets and reports on a daily basis. I make about £3,600 a month from that after tax and pensions, etc. Now I have worked in finance related jobs for almost 9 years now. In order to get to sort of senior level positions, you don't really need to have a degree. I don't have a degree. I left university after a year because I absolutely hated it at the time. And I did an apprenticeship and then I did my CIMA. So I'm a CIMA chartered accountant, essentially, so chartered global management accountant, and that took me about 3.5 years to complete. So it was about 17 exams in total when I did it. I think it's 16 now. So yeah, that was fun. I did it alongside my job and now I am where I am. So my second source of income is obviously YouTube Adsense. So I am part of the YouTube Partner Program and I do get paid. It does vary massively, so it depends on your video topic, it depends on how many videos you put out and how many views you get, and whether that video is a specific topic that advertisers want to advertise on, and all sorts of other stuff. The finance niche is the best paid niche on YouTube, I believe. So in terms of AdSense, you do get paid the most by doing financial topics, especially investments. For me, I've had everywhere from, I think I started off on I think it was 180 on my first month. I've had months where I've had like over 1,000 in 1 month, and on average it's sort of between 500 and 1,000. So depending on how many videos I make in that month and how well the videos do, I've had a few videos go not really viral because I wouldn't class them as viral, but do really, really well. So in those months, the AdSense has obviously been a lot higher. So my third source of income is actually my 0 hours contract job. So I recently spoke about this on a podcast and I've had a few people message me on Instagram and my emails asking me about this. So I signed up to 2 agencies for temporary workers. I'm pretty sure if you search like event venues work or temporary work or something agency, you will find so many of them. And what's funny actually is that I used to do the same job as someone else and they were from a different agency and they were getting paid more to do exactly the same job. So I wish I had done a little bit more research about that. But essentially what I do is I work at events. So I was working for one of the agencies, I was working in stadiums, football stadiums. This is one that I absolutely hated. I didn't want to do it. And I only did it for a while whilst I was paying off my debt. But then I actually got a job at one of the big 4 accounting firms and I was making a lot more money. So I then decided I hate that job, so I don't want to spend my time doing it. I wasn't making a lot of money from it because obviously I pay 40% tax, so I left. But the other one I've kept because despite the low pay, I absolutely love it. It makes me so happy, and yes, it's physically draining, but it makes me happy and I enjoy it. I enjoy the people I work with. I enjoy the events. I enjoy the fact that I don't have to commute to the job. It's within walking distance for me. So for those people, if you are a regular subscriber, I get a lot of questions about why I still bother with the 0 hours. Well, I like having diversified income and I like having something different to do. I think if you work full time, 0 hours contracts are a great way to supplement your income because you don't have to commit to any sort of hours, because yes, you can get a side job in a cafe or something, but for those places you usually have to commit to a certain amount of hours per week. And I think a lot of retail places now require full flexibility. So I don't think, although I don't know if it's changed, but I know that they didn't really accept people saying things like, oh, I can't work during these hours, etc. So 0 hours gets you around that because you don't have to commit. If you can't do it, then you can't do it. And if you can, you sign up to do the shift and you do it. With the 0 hours job, I make about £13 per hour. So again, after tax, it's not a huge amount after I pay 40%, but that's roughly how much I currently make. So my fourth source of income is pet sitting. So I do pet sitting. It's mostly just cats these days, but I used to do dogs as well. I now mostly just do cats, and it's a great thing. Again, you just agree to specific dates. Obviously, once you've agreed it, you have to do it because you're looking after a living being. But for me, you know, once you get regular clients, pretty much every time that they go away, they will come to you, providing you've done a good job, obviously. But if you like animals, then this could be a great way for you to make extra money. And obviously there's also babysitting. I did used to do babysitting. I'm not as patient as I used to be, so babysitting isn't really an option for me anymore. But pet sitting, I just absolutely love. With pet sitting, you can set your own rates, bearing in mind that the websites, you know, they will take a cut. But I use Cat in a Flat and Paw Shake. So those are the two websites that I use if you are interested. My rate, because I only accept bookings, again, where I can walk to them now, my rate is about £10 per visit, and I will stay quite a while with the cats. So it's a pretty good rate for the owners, and it works for me because I don't commute and it's just a quick win, and I love animals, so bonus for me. So my fifth source of income, I'm going to band two things together here because I sort of see them as the same thing. I could split them out into two if I wanted to, but I'm going to just say they are one and the same sort of, and that is user testing and prolific. I get a lot of questions about user testing, so I'm going to address that one first. With user testing, you basically sign up to usertesting.com as a tester, and what happens is you will have to answer some screening questions. So they will say, for example, how old are you, where do you work, etc., etc. And it's not like the annoying survey sites where you will go through loads of questions and 20 questions later they're like, sorry, you don't qualify. With this one, it's literally usually about 3 to 4 questions, and they are multiple choice. And if you qualify, you go through, and what happens is you are asked to record your screen whilst you carry out a specific task. So you have to talk to your microphone or your laptop, you don't need a special microphone, and record your screen, and they will say to you, you know, for this website, you know, find X, or, you know, if you are looking to take out pet insurance, how would you go about doing this on this website? Talk us through your thinking. So you would go, right, okay, well, there's a menu here. So I would click on this menu, and out of these options, I would go into this menu because I associate this as something with pet insurance. And yeah, oh, look, there's pet insurance, or actually it's not there. Where else could it be? And you talk them through your thinking. The other thing they might ask is, you know, read through this page and then click next when you're done. And then you read through it sort of out loud, and then you click next, and then they'll say to you, what was the deal on that page? And it's more to see whether actually it's in enough of a place where you will notice and remember it or not, and things like that. So there's also interviews that you can do. So it will live screen you for live interviews where you will go on webcam, on like a Zoom call with someone, and then they will ask you questions. So I've had some where they will ask me like, oh, what would you think of this in your terms and conditions? Or what would you think of X, Y, and Z? And you have to be okay with obviously being on camera and speaking to someone. Usually those are 30-minute sessions or 60-minute sessions. In terms of payment for those recordings earlier, they normally take about 10 minutes. and you get paid $10. And with the live ones, it's $30 for 30 minutes, $60 for 60 minutes. So it's a good little earner if you can be around your laptop for when they come through. And then in terms of prolific, I've finally been able to experience it. So everyone in the finance world talks about prolific, and I was always really jealous because I couldn't do it, because you have to have a verified and registered internet provider with prolific, and I didn't. I had a provider that was like local to the area and I just couldn't use it. But now, because of where I'm staying, I have internet with one of the big providers, so I can use prolific. And honestly, I have been shocked at how much money this has made me. I've spent just 1 week on it, barely any time at all, and I've already made like £30, which is just mad to me. So my sixth source of income is teaching English online. So I did the TEFL course, and that was literally just the TEFL.org 120-hour course, because a lot of people ask me about this. And I signed up to a website called Preply, and I've heard a lot of good things about Cambly as well, but I've not tried them out yet. I keep meaning to, I just don't have the time. But yeah, I signed up, made a profile, and I had 9 students for about just under a year. But now that the summer came, like a lot of them stopped lessons for the summer, and I've not really gone back to teaching all of them. I still teach 4 different students every week, so 4 hours a week. But basically you can, again, set your own rates and find students that you gel with, that sort of want what you give. So I think on Cambly you can just talk to people apparently. And with a lot of my students, all they want is to practice their conversation. So they're all Polish students, and in Poland, in class, when you're learning English, the main focus tends to be on grammar. There's not really much conversation. So a lot of my students are just like, I just want to practice. For me specifically, with this one, I don't make as much money as the others. So it's sort of like the least bang for buck. I don't know, what's the word? You know what I mean. But that's because, again, if you've seen my passive income reports, I undercharge for my tutoring currently. I don't plan to, but I do. So at the moment I charge $15 per hour, but I could charge more. So 7th on the list of income sources is investments. And if you follow me, you probably knew this was coming, but investments are obviously going to be on here because they pay me both dividends, and obviously there is capital gains as well. So in terms of dividends, it's only recently grown to a pretty decent amount, and it's not a huge amount at the moment, but I'm just so amazed because I could pay certain bills now with the amounts I've been getting consistently from my dividends. So for the last 3 months, I've been getting consistently over £30. In August, I made about £40 from dividends. So it's pretty awesome to see it grow, because when I first started investing, I was literally making like 5p here and 20p here. And now it's like an actual amount where I'm like, wow, if I'm making between £20 to £40 a month from dividends currently, that's like, say, my heating bill or my water bill covered, which is really, really awesome. So the 8th income source is, again, 2 things that I could technically split out, but I'm going to rope them into one thing, and that is sponsorships and affiliates. So with affiliates, this is something that more people can do potentially, because you don't really need a huge following to make money from affiliates. You can just use things like Twitter and Instagram, and even just emails to your friends or whatever it is, where you can just make money through referring people to products. So whether it's like the investment apps that give you a free share for referring a friend, whether it's Amazon affiliates if you're good at selling stuff, or whatever it is, that's probably the easier way when you don't have a big audience. And then sponsorships, obviously that's working with brands when they will pay you to make a video about their product. And with that, it's really important to maintain integrity and really only work with brands that you're happy to work with. I mean, if I worked with every brand that approached me, this channel would be full of maybe not fake FX exchanges or crypto exchanges, but I don't think anyone would want to watch my channel. So you want to stay true to yourself, which I think I'm good at doing. I've actually not done sponsored content for a long time because I've not been happy with any of the proposals, although I do have some stuff coming up, which I'm really excited for. But with this, literally the sky is the limit, because with affiliates, you know, different products pay different amounts, and it depends on how well you sort of market it, in terms of, are you going to post about it a lot, or are you just going to put a link in your bio and hope people see it? Or are you going to say, you know, by the way, this thing that I've just shown you, links in my bio if you want to sign up, you know? And there's no limit on how much you can make, on how many people sign up. So this is a really good one. And obviously with sponsorships, there's a direct correlation between how many subscribers you have, how engaged your audience is, etc. The 9th income stream might seem a little bit weird, but I've seen this on other income reports and I do use it, so I'm going to mention it. And that is credit card points, because I've made a lot of money from my credit card points. And although I don't get paid as such, although there are credit cards that will give you cash back, I use American Express. So I get points that I can then use. So for example, I make a lot of money off of my Sainsbury's shop, which then I get to save. So I see that as making money. And also I've made so many points on my business credit card now that I have enough points to basically take a return flight somewhere for free. I've changed my points to Emirates, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be enough to take like 2 return flights from like Dubai or Thailand or somewhere, because at the moment it's almost enough to upgrade my flights to business class, which obviously costs a lot of money. So watch this space. But essentially, if you don't use credit cards as a way to make money, then you're really missing out. But of course, you need to be careful. And if you're not good with having that restraint of paying it back in full every month, then obviously it's probably not for you. Now, the 10th and final income stream that I'm going to mention, again, is not for everyone, so be really careful. And I have a whole video about it if you want to know more, but it is matched betting. So with this one, it's my smallest source of income because I just don't have the time to put into it. But I know a lot of people who make quite a bit of money with this, but it does take a bit of effort. And if you have any sorts of issues with addictive personality or gambling or anything like that, then please stay away from it. But it is a way to make a little bit of extra cash, especially if you use someone like Odds Monkey, where again, I've got a video that I did with them, but that really just takes the pressure off of making the calculations yourself. So yeah, I'm not really going to go into how it works because it's quite complicated, but again, I have the whole video if you want to watch it. That's pretty much it. I'm not sure how long this video is. I feel like I've been talking forever, so I'm going to try and make sure it's not too long when I edit it down. But hopefully this has been useful, and hopefully if you're new here and you found this through the search results, then welcome. Hope it was useful. And yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any other income sources that I've not listed here, because I'm always on the lookout for new income sources. And yeah, hope you have a lovely week ahead, and I'll see you next time. Bye.